minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is up, y'all? What is up? Yes, this is a special midday edition. We talked about it, obviously, as you guys can tell, that there's going to be some plant and flower talk involved, but we're also still, of course, going to talk a little bit about the Gorlworld stitches and get into all that. So let's do our little roll call per usual. Nutty the squirrel, how are you, darling? It's good to see you. Tragically delicious. Pleasure as always, darling. Good to see you. Crab apples, how are you? Yeah, there's nothing pleasant about that at all. And I've talked about some of that. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah. Hi, Leanie Bo. How are you? So, now I don't know how many of y'all caught that short, but, I don't think old boy had him a gallbladder removal. I just don't. And, Allah has already said that's not what that is, that, he had a pineal cyst opened and cleaned out and drained, which is probably more likely given how quickly he went into surgery and he was miraculously out and he's back to talking again, So, I mean, I've been in nursing almost 3 decades, and first job, brand new, 21 years old, worked in the hospital. And I worked a 7 on, 7 off schedule. So you worked 7 days, you were off 7 days. But of course, as a young person and, wanting to get in there and make that money, I worked on my off week too. So I would work GI lab, I would work recovery room, I would do sterile processing, I would work the clinic, I would do home health on occasion, very rare on occasion. And there was just a lot not adding up about what he was saying and what she was saying in concert, about him going into surgery and miraculously he's out of surgery and I can't feel my body, and he's having all these rational discussions via text, writing. I done heard people have whole conversations with folks who ain't even in the room when they coming off of anesthesia. They play too much. And those pineal cysts that he could have in his butt crack, which we know he has because he's had several of them opened up before, which is why Foodie made it a big deal about talking about his hairy ass when they were in their little momentary breakup phase. That's a local anesthetic, because I've been party to that too, working in the ER, people coming in with them things huge and swollen. And you want to talk about, washing somebody ready to crawl off a gurney, put some lidocaine all up in somebody's booty like that. That stuff burns like the devil. I would really rather just have them poke a hole in a cyst than them trying to put lidocaine around it and then poke a hole in it. Because the lidocaine hurts worse than you just poking a hole in it, but that's just me. But you want to talk about functified? Woo, Jesus. Whole new levels of funky from stuff like that, yo. Real talk. Let me kind of catch up here. I do have houseplants, actually, crabs. But they don't really mess with them. I mean, Romeo will like rub his face on them sometimes, but he rubs his face kind of like on everything. It's not just the fact that they're plants, it's just something else to love himself on, you know. But they don't really mess with them, thankfully. So I'm really lucky in that regard. Let's see. Pineal cysts are really kind of limited. Let me see. I've never seen one anywhere. Not pineal. Sorry. Anorectal cyst, not perianal. I don't know why I said pineal. I'm thinking perianal. Perianal. Blah, 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 blah. I'm having little brain farts there. Don't pay no attention to me. Perianal cysts tend to stay in that particular area only. Y'all overlook me talking about pineals in your head. I ain't had no caffeine yet today. Not anything substantial. So I'm not firing on all cylinders, y'all. But anything in that booty region back there, ooh, functified. Yeah, they are kind of limited to right there. So, you know, I got a hold of my iPad when I had my cancer surgery, and ICU posted a bunch of Facebook. A bunch of, don't remember doing it right. See, that's the deal. Like, I have sat there like in recovery room with people. Now, these are people who have not undergone like in the recovery room when I was working with those. Those are people that were going into the GI lab to have upper and lower scopes done. They put you under general anesthesia because, you know, you can't be moving around. We got to be able to get you into position and keep you in a position so that we can get in, get out, and be done, you know. But people talking about some off the wall foolishness, having partial conversations, like we'll be talking to you and then we'll be talking to somebody that's not there and come back to talking to you again. There are videos, you can look it up, of people coming out of anesthesia. Like there was one, and it is absolutely 100% stinking adorable. The guy he's out of recovery and he's back in his room, but he is still feeling the effects of the anesthesia. And he's sitting there having a whole conversation with his wife, thinking that she's a nurse. And so, you know, he was like, "Oh my God, are you a nurse? You're hot." And she's like, "No, I'm your wife." And he was like, "Oh my God, you're my wife?" And she's like, "Yeah, we have kids together." He's like, "We have kids together?" He's like, "Man, I did good." You know, I mean, no filter, whatever he's thinking just came right out, you know, and stuff like that. So, I mean, not even remembering his spouse who he's been with for ages. So, I mean, the fact that there was this whole thing about, oh, well, I don't feel my body and I'm having this and I'm having that. And, you know, sitting here having a whole conversation, you don't remember most of it. Like I have met people that have come in who remembered me from going through the intake process with them. They don't remember me being in the room with them for their upper or lower or lower GI. And then they didn't remember me being in the recovery room with them after. But when they came in for follow-up for other things, they would be like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and they would not remember half the stuff that was said in the room, or if any of it at all. So, you know, yeah, I'm trying to kind of, we're going to talk about a little bit of that, but we're not going to get so far into it like we normally do skinny, because I just can't. Y'all. Well, no. I'm trying like you. I'm trying so hard to stay away from that. I just, Lord have mercy. That's another thing too that brings up questions for me about old boy supposedly having rational conversations. How you gonna be on pain medication and be talking with such a clear head and making such rational sense with your replies to everything? I done had laparoscopic surgery. That shit is not comfortable, you know. So let's see. I know it is. And Hannibal's got a dirty mind. And yes, I do say stuff in a weird way. The word analgesic to him comes out as anal Jesus, and God love him for being a perv, because that's one of the things about him that I find amusing. Hi. Hi. Little mama decided to come in and say hi. Hello, mama. She was running around today acting like I was going to eat her or something. She cray. Yeah, I have a plant killer in my house. Haven't had a house plant since 2009 when he burnt the last one. God bless it. I should not have been allowed on my computer post brain surgery. You don't even want to know the stuff I bought. Oh my God. It's kind of like a drunk Amazon shopping. You end up with stuff showing up and you're like, where did that come from? You don't even remember ordering stuff. That's funny and sweet. You're my wife. You're so hot. It actually, hang on, y'all. I can probably show that to y'all because it was beyond adorable.
Does it have it all?
Wait, is this a short? It's a short. Okay. All right. Hey, Miss Lady, can you come over here, please? Now, mind you, this gentleman, he is just kind of purity. He's a little blitzed. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get the volume up high enough for y'all to hear him, because he is.
In a minute. I'll see if they'll lift you up, okay?
Did the doctor send you? Man, you are eye candy. Whoa. Hey, you could be the prettiest woman I've ever seen. Are you a model?
Nope, I'm going to be right here with you. You eat the cracker.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name's Candace. I'm your wife.
You're my wife?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dang. Ooh. How long?
Just eat the cracker. You're waking up.
Do we have children?
Not yet.
Oh, man. Man, have we kissed yet?
Keep eating your cracker.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard, baby. It's hard. Do we call each other baby? How long have we been married?
A long time.
Oh, my God. I hit the jackpot.
Eat your cracker.
Man. God, that's a beautiful one I've ever seen. Let me see your face. Let me see your face. Whoa, your teeth are perfect. Turn around.
No. Eat your cracker.
We're married? Did I get you that ring?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I must have been really liking you.
So, okay. As one can imagine, this gentleman right here, he was, okay, first off,
Did the doctor send you?
stop it. Shut up. Jesus. Okay. Miss Lady, can we pick a spot? I know. I love you. You're a good girl. Can we pick a spot and settle? Can we pick a spot and settle? I can't get no work done with your booty right there. Hi. Excuse you. Come over here. This gentleman right here, as you can imagine, he is actually, honestly, he is probably at the tail end of recovery phase for him. He's probably, I mean, he's eating. If they've already gotten him to a point where he's eating, then he's fairly well along into it. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, he doesn't even recognize his own wife, and he's hitting on her. And wow, are you a model? You're my wife? Did I buy you that ring? Wow, I must have really liked you, and I mean, it's that sort of thing that leads me to believe that him supposedly coming out of surgery and going right to having full-blown text conversations. I mean, this guy, now obviously everybody has their own individual response to anesthesia because of body chemistry and amount and type, but people are loopy. They are feeling and behaving like they have tied one on for a little while even after they're released from recovery. If they're admitted to an inpatient room, they stay zonked for a little while. I mean, whole conversations going on that they don't even remember. So, there's a lot about that whole surgery situation that's been discussed that just flat doesn't make any sense. Hey, can I help you? Can I help you? Miss Lady. Oh, I see a few more people. Hi, Fiona's mom. Amidst me running my gator. Hi, SH, by the way. I don't think I said hey to you. Hey, Miss Lucy Jane. How are you? Miss Leona. Hi. Good to see you. Let's see. Right. Rule number 1, foodie lies. We know this. I do think that it was probably more likely. Miss Lady. Thank you. That's better. Much better. We can do the plopping. We can plop. That's fine. It's more likely that he had some sort of procedure done versus an actual surgery done, which is whatever. But, I had to call that out because, the math just ain't mathing. I got a whole face full of, got hair all in my nose because you whacked me. I still love you even though you whacked me. So there's that. The other thing, too, with the anesthesia thing, people tend to be way too honest when they're under anesthesia, just like when they're drinking. So that particular video of that gentleman, somebody actually said it, at least they know they can be 100% certain that their husband loves them, because he is like, wow, I really liked you, sort of deal. It is absolutely cutest thing ever. You get to hear some of the funniest stuff when people are impaired, kind of like this quick little sidestep over into my weekend, y'all. I went to a nursing home again, last 2 shifts, same place, been a little bit since I've been there. There's one lady on this assignment sheet, this assignment run that I was on. The woman is newly diagnosed. She was diagnosed with dementia, like early dementia. And it is, and it's driving me bonkers. She's a very pleasant lady. She'll come, for the most part, she sits and chats with you and everything. And, every now and again, she'll be like, where am I supposed to be staying? I know this is like a hotel or whatever, but where's my room? And, you have to point her to the room. But every single time I work on shift with her, and it may be a week, it may be 2 weeks, sometimes even longer than that when I work with her, she, without doubt, just about every single time I work with her, she's like, what's your name? And I tell her my name. And she's like, that's such a pretty name. She says, a pretty name for a pretty girl. She says, you are such a pretty girl. And every single time I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. It's so nice to know that somebody thinks so. And she says, oh, I'm sure there's other people that think so. I said, well, I'm sure there might be too. I said, but in here, it's really not always the best compliment to be told that you're pretty. I equate that. I would rather have a little old lady tell me that I'm pretty than a little old man tell me that I'm pretty. Most little old men, generally the way it goes, they still horn dogs well into their 80s and 90s. And you really ain't got to be a pretty person to get them to be like, "Oh, you so pretty. You so pretty, honey." All you got to do is be a young woman and they like, "Oh, you so pretty, honey." But if you get that nod from a little old lady, then more than likely it's probably honest. It's an honest evaluation. Yeah. So, it's just like, I feel pretty, because a little old lady called me pretty. It's kind of like when little old lady it's like when them old ladies calls you babe. Yeah, baby, could you come here a minute? I need a hand with something. It has just a particular sort of connection. You know what I'm saying? That too. Mm-hmm. Yep. They do. They love to grab. I can't tell you how many times it's been like, nope. First off, I ain't got nothing there to grab, old boy. You need to keep your hands to yourself. You ain't going to do nothing but get a handful of disappointment. But, kids, old folks, and people, impaired folks, you're going to get levels of honesty that you are not quite prepared for. You know what I mean? Let's see. Talking about old foodles here. She made a comment. Oh, what? I'm just being honest. I ain't got no booty. And my poor boobs is deflated. I lost my boobs when I lost my weight, so they ain't much to me. If you look at me from the frontal view, I'm all kind of curvy. Look at me front and turn sideways, I'm pretty well non-existent there. I got white girl problems. You know what I'm saying? The only way I could fix that is if I had surgery, and I got no interest in investing that kind of money, Well, you know what I'm talking about. Little old men like to try to grab a hold of a handful of booty. Disappointment comes when there ain't no booty to grab onto. Yay, alive and I'm awake. Hi, Jade. Good to see you, baby. How you doing? Hey, Nettie, you can still make some recommendations because we're basically going to be kind of like shopping sort of stuff, Under the influence of whatever you're at high risk of getting sung at. Yep, maybe show tunes. But after my surgery, I kept singing Titanium because I knew they had to put titanium plate in my skull. That is awesome. That's awesome. I think, honestly, truth be told, I probably would have been singing along with you. If you'd had me as your recovery nurse, we would have been belting it out together. And I would have been like, do it, put in that work, sing that song, stuff like that to me. That's a fun part of the job, being able to have fun with your patients. But backtracking and staying on Foodie for a minute, she made a quick little momentary comment about the medication she's being given for pain management. And she said it's called Olefin. And she says you can get it as an injectable and you can get it over the counter here as a pill. Here's the problem. First off, it's not Olefin, it's called Dolafine. And when you look up Dolafine, it will actually tell you that Dolafine is actually methadone, which will sort of explain, there's been a lot of comments lately about her looking high, about her just not behaving like she's sober. If she's on methadone as a pain management substance, then it would certainly account for all the odd behavior and her looking high and stuff along those lines. So, but methadone, while it is used as where you at, crab apples? I got it for you. Are you ready? While methadone is used as an analgesic, It is not specifically for that. It was actually designed, and it's more prominently used with the treatment of heroin withdrawal and substance abuse. Right. She did at one point say, but then in this most recent live, during the same live where she's like home alone and she's like doing this, looking stupid, she actually made that comment about the Dolphin. When I eventually had my gallbladder removed, I hope I don't have the anesthesiologist or the nurses or surgical techs I knew when I worked at the hospital. I don't want them to hear me loopy. Honestly, you never can tell. You never can tell. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. It can be, but it's usually for, people who have developed some sort of resistance or built up a tolerance to other pain medications, or if they have like such drastic allergies, because you'll see people, and I've seen those people, they're like, I'm allergic to Demerol. I'm allergic to codeine. I'm allergic to tramadol. I'm allergic to this. I'm allergic to that. And whenever they report something, as you'll see it a lot with people who are drug seekers, a lot of drug seekers will tell you, I can't take that because I'm allergic to codeine. I can't take Demerol because it makes me itch. I can't take this because it makes me nauseous. I can't do that for whatever. And once those are listed as allergies by a patient, even through simple self-reporting, you can't give that stuff to them ever. So you will have those people that will list every pain medication known to man as an allergy to kind of limit down what you can give them, so that you're kind of limited to your morphines and sometimes with those, your Demerols and with methadone. So it just depends on the person, whether or not they actually have a true allergy. But I have people in the nursing home every now and again that are on methadone, that it's a scheduled medication. It has to be signed out. It's a whole to do. Just like most narcotics, you have to verify your count of the medications that you've got when you come on. You sign them out, you date it, you time it, you sign off on it, you give the medication. And at the end, however many doses are due for that particular shift, and then the next person comes on, and you have to go through and count those pills again, and verify that the number total on the sheet verifies the total on the stock, because people will steal medications. That is a sad state of affairs, but it happens. The problems with, if she is actually being given Dolphine as a pain management, or methadone as a pain management medication, for something as simple as a nerve issue or a bulging disc or something along those lines, they are literally, at this point, to me, they are taking out a mosquito with a grenade launcher versus hitting it with a flash water. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of issues that could come with using that medication. There could be headaches, weight gain, abdominal pain, dry mouth, sore mouth or sore tongue. You can have flushing, problems with urination, changes in mood, problems going to sleep or staying asleep. I've heard of people, it can cause edema in areas of the body, the face, around the eyes, stuff like that. Overall generalized weakness, all of these varying things. But realistically, in all sincerity, they probably should not have given her something with such potency to it, because, it is a respiratory depressant. It has a tendency to create like an irregular heartbeat at times. It can cause fainting, all sorts of stuff. And she's already has so many different issues that she really doesn't need to be going to the extreme with medications like that. I knew a person on methadone for pain. He got it through workers' comp. It was taking it for over a decade. Wow. Well, I mean, and that's another thing. It is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly habit forming. I mean, it is basically synthetic heroin. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that's like I said, they're using a grenade launcher to take out a mosquito versus them taking a fly swatter to the mosquito. They have literally gone to the most potent medication. So, I mean, to me, and most prudent people who work in the medical field would say, okay, let's start with some tramadol, with some Ultram, something on the lower end of potency, and then move arc up as we need to. You're not going to jump straight to the most heavy, the most excessive of, of the narcotics, simply because, number one, you have a higher rate of dependency on them, which is not good. This is way better than Foodie Duty. I try. Right. Nothing absolutely is a small issue anymore. And the thing is, for her, we know old girl has problems with dependency. She was a cocaine addict. She's addicted to food. So her getting addicted to a narcotic this way would not be a shock. I mean, to me, though, that would be really kind of wild for you to uproot your entire life, move to the opposite side of the planet just to become a drug addict, Wow. Tell us how. Who was the skunky kitty? What you mean? I missed something. Maybe. Could be. No telling, honestly. I've seen a couple of people who were addicted to tramadol, even like I got mean when it wasn't able to get it filled when they wanted it, but usually very nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, like the tramadol, even with the tramadol, there is obviously a potential for addiction. And that's part of the reason why it's a part of the regulated opiates, even though tramadol is not an opiate because it's habit forming. And there is an addictive property there. I have seen people who have taken tramadol who have gotten physically dependent on it. It's just an unfortunate side effect of, those types of medications. Tramadol is actually the only one that I will take. I've had surgery before when I had the gastric bypass and my gallbladder removed. And they put me on, drip pain medications with the little clicker, click, 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 where you give it to yourself. And to me, that's the only time other than, ER visits, where I've had like kidney stones that I have gotten anything substantial. But I make it a point to tell them I do not want narcotics. Give me some tramadol, give me some Ultram. Do not give me anything stronger than that. And it's because, I mean, obviously I get pain relief from those medications, but it's not just that. I mean, they literally put me into a state of unconsciousness. I am not functional. I don't know people are there. I am just zonked out for 10, 12, 14, 16 hours, depending upon what they give me. And I don't like that. I mean, it sort of defeats the purpose of pain management if I'm just unconscious, Let's see. The one that was rubbing all over you looked kind of like that's little mama. That's little mama. She's the channel mascot. You'll see her pretty regularly. It absolutely could be. Absolutely could be. I mean, it does cause some fluid buildup, and seeing it around the face is not uncommon. Have they made gabapentin controlled yet? Been taking it forever? Not yet. Amazingly enough. I do know that it's in certain environments, it's not used, like in the correctional and jail and prisons facilities, it's not used because of those the feel good that people get from them. So I was on a fentanyl pump for weeks, couldn't wait to get off of it. I honestly don't blame you. Yeah, her whole face is puffy, but the most noticeable thing has been this right here, like right under her eyes, how she's got these newly developed bags. I mean, you guys see me. I've got like circles, but that's just because of, years of being anemic. That's just an unfortunate side effect for me. But I don't have bags like that unless I am really sick or I am not sleeping at all. And then I'll have bags. And she's kind of the same way. She doesn't really normally have a lot of bag buildup under her eyes up until recently. And it's really, really prominent right now. So there's that. I ain't really talking about Amber. Amber's just being Amber. She's full of shit. She's been full of shit. She's making up shit so that she has something to talk about. I'm not. Fuck her. And this non-existent girlfriend that she's claiming that she's got. So I thought we would do a real quick follow up on Alice Undone, if you guys are up to that, and then we will get into some shopping. Well, could be. I have sped old girl up because she talks uber slow. This was the most recent sit down vlog that she did. A lot of the uploads between that last one we watched on Alice talking about her history and now has been dog videos. I'd be so nervous being on fentanyl. I know they monitor control at the hospital, but it was drilled into me how strong it is. It is very, very potent, and it is highly, highly regulated. It is down to a fine science exactly how much we're giving you when you're in a hospital setting to ensure that you don't end up with any kind of negative reaction. Hello, Pix. Good to see you, sweet pie. How are you? Okay, so let's get into Alice here.
Hey everyone, it's me. Who else would it be? So, Sunday the 18th, and I just want to say, wow. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that that one video to go over 2,000 views. I don't quite know what happened. Because usually my videos get like 100, maybe 300 on a good day. So, and the title wasn't even like grabby or anything. Like, that's the weird part. So hello to everyone who may be new here. Hello to old friends. Hello to new enemies and old enemies and stalkers and everyone else. Yeah, I just was not expecting that. And thank you for everyone for your comments, whether they were helpful or not helpful or mean or whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. Quick little recap, because SH wasn't here for that last time we talked about it. Okay, this is Alice. Her name is Lori. Her online page name is under the name Alice Undone. She is a plus size lady, as you can imagine. She is a post weight loss surgery patient who actually, as an emotional eater, because of circumstances that she was in, she actually caused her surgery to become undone. She overate to the point where she caused, she didn't specify whether she had the band or the sleeve, but it came undone. So now she does not have that in place to help her anymore. She actually was making progress for about a year after, and then everything went off the rails. She was in apparently a very abusive relationship to a gentleman she was married to. They got divorced. And now she is with a gentleman, and has been for some time now, who has a closed brain injury, who is an alcoholic. And that video that she's talking about that got over 2K views is talking about the circumstances between her and the current fella. Her describing a complete change in personality when he is drinking, and how it is taking a toll on her mental health, and all the varying things that are going on between the two of them. So this video right here is just a real quick follow-up. We're not going to cover the whole thing, just the pertinent details in relation to an update from the last go round. Hey, I didn't know you watched her. How you doing, Biz? Good to see you. Yeah, we talked about her. We did a quick little thing on her the last live. But we've talked a little bit about Foodie and Sala, and like I said, fuck Amber Lynn, her old aggravating ass. We're talking about her. And then if y'all are down, those of y'all that are willing to stick around, we're gonna do some shopping. Y'all gonna help me do some shopping. So far, so good. No major stuff going on. I'm just kind of cleaning. I set up a job interview for Thursday because I am all the way over. I'm all the way over this agency stuff. You know, I'm having problems with the app now. I keep having to email saying, will you please clock me out? Your app is not working. They're like, just reset the app, turn airplane mode on and turn it back off. And I'm like, I'm doing all that. Oh, well, okay. Well, then you need to put in a ticket then. And I asked the question, am I the only person having this problem, so that I know whether or not it's just me? And I never get that. I never get an answer about that. So I'm just kind of fed the fuck up with it. I mean, I'll probably still do some work here and there, but I'm looking for something close to the house, something that I ain't got to worry about the consistency on it. I want weekends, and that's all, you know. And I applied for a weekend supervisor job that is a Baylor schedule. And for those of y'all that don't know what a Baylor schedule is it's 2 days. This one is 2 days where you work 2 16-hour days. And for me, it'll be 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm done for the week. So that gives me the rest of the week to do whatever I want. And it's only like a 10-minute drive from the house, which is even better. Okay, we're going to continue on with Miss Alice.
Thank you for boosting the algorithm and for taking the time to comment, and if you took the time to listen. And I love the comments that were like, shared your stories with me, because I love that. This lighting is making me look really pale with this new hair. It's not done yet. This is not my final form. If you go on my page, my community page, you will see, for anyone who already voted and was like, what the heck is this for? Or for people who didn't or did vote and already knew what it was for. Yeah, there's a poll, purple, blue, or red. I also have that weird sushi color, but it doesn't turn out in my hair very well. So those are the colors I have. Right over there, you can't really see them.
I want to talk about the hair real quick. This is supposed to be her processing her hair to be able to put some kind of vibrant color on it. Her hair is not processed down enough. The bottoms of it are, but up here is not even close. That she is going to get some serious color distortion with that if she puts a red or blue or a green or whatever else on top of that.
And yeah, I have a couple more, but I just don't want to fuss with them. I have a yellow, but I feel like,
I mean, the top of her head up here is really, really brassy.
You know, red, purple, and blue in great quantities. So go vote if you want. There's still a couple more days until I can put the color in. So I'm running around with this for a while, letting it rest. I had to do a lot of work to get it, to bleach it and whatnot, because it's been so long, and I've been using cheap shampoo, and I finally had the money this month to get the good shampoo and the leave-in conditioner and all that. So I'm letting it sit for a while. But by the end of next week, I plan to have it a color, so you can go vote. And so
I've never seen her red.
I'm not necessarily a big fan of purple.
It may suit her.
I don't know how big of a fan I am of red either. I would rather do teal. I don't have it right now. Maybe next time I'll buy a teal kit and I'll do a teal or turquoise or something like that. I really like the way that one looks on me. So vain, I know. But yeah, I really appreciate it.
Here's the other thing too, and this is completely off on this, but kind of sort of off topic a little bit. To me, and maybe it's just me, but wouldn't it be more prudent that if you loved color like that you would go and have the hair actually appropriately set up so that you could put like temporary color, because you've got like the pastes and stuff that you can work in, and then you wash them out, and you've got temporary color for a few weeks, week or 2 weeks, whatever. And then, you can put a different color on it, and, just keep things perpetually and change up. And to me, that would be probably more beneficial than actually doing an actual dye job. But maybe that's just me.
And everyone who shared their stories and took the time to inbox me. I know I'm horrible. I've had people reach out to me, and I'm so horrible getting back. I don't know. I'm just lost in my own world most of the time.
Oh, wait, Pigs, who are you talking about? Canceled my membership. It ended 28 days later after I left and blocked her everywhere. Are we talking about Squeaky? After my recent health scare, I wanted to be full purple again. Was a lot of work, but well worth it. Okay, that's who I see. No, that's fine. No problem. That's who I figured. That's who I figured, but, yeah, see, I kind of figured that might be the case, but yeah. I done been said it. There's a butthole underneath the surface scratching to get out. It's just a matter of time. I'm just waiting on it. I'm waiting for the full cow to emerge from the barn. Let us continue. And it's totally fine that y'all are chatting about whatever in the chat, y'all. Y'all know it doesn't bother me.
And I freaks people up because they're like, well, you do YouTube. How are you so socially awkward? How are you not an extrovert? How are you bad?
I saw it. Them girls is badass, girl.
It's different. And plus, the job thing is completely different. I know what to expect, and it's a different mode that I'm in. I'm not Lori, so that makes it easier. And I make phone calls for Josh and for myself and whatnot, and I'm in a different mode. I'm not me. I'm in work mode. So, but yeah, we did a transport this morning, and now Josh is taking a nap. I tried to take a nap, but I don't know. I have to wake up super early, and I'm not an early person when my schedule is actually balanced, which right now it is. And I put a picture on the community page of the dog we did today. It was my first not beagle or husky. Woo! I hear a lot of schnauzers go through, but I haven't got one yet. This is my first bully breed that we did a transport with. I'm so excited. And he was so cute, because in the pictures I thought he was bigger. And he turned out he was total like short, stout lowrider, like 45 pounds. So friendly, so lovable. I was just like, oh, I want to keep him. We trade him for Pip. Oh, speaking of which, when we got home, I don't exactly know how he did this. He did not break the kennel this time, but he got out. I don't know if he figured it out, but he's got these long toes. Maybe he did it and figured out how to use them like fingers. Maybe it didn't latch right. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out, because Pip keeps me on my toes. We're like having this battle of wits. Like, he does something, and then I figure out how to solve the problem, and then he figures out how to solve the problem that I created by fixing the problem that he created. And I'm pretty sure soon he'll figure out how to open the fridge and get on top of the refrigerator where we keep stuff that we don't want him getting into. And this little bugger, there will not be a bark box opening with those two, unfortunately. I don't know how. I don't want to punish Lola and Junior. I also don't want to punish Penny, but at the same time, that's her homie. She was in her kennel being a good dog though. So we gave her something, and we'll probably give her more something out of the new bark box. But he ate one of the bark boxes. It was Junior and Lola's. The toys are fine, but all the treats were eaten. So he doesn't get dinner tonight. No, I'm just kidding. He will. But I know that he's not going to be a happy dog.
I have to ask the question. I haven't had a dog in a while, but even then, it does not take you long to figure out that you have got to keep pet snacks in a place where they are above their capability to reach it. And it being in a box means absolutely nothing. Packages mean absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So, talking about she didn't understand. Her fatty approved videos can be funny. How much do you know about her? She once dressed up like a cow and offered herself up to Gorlworld. Actually, and that sounds hysterical. I really haven't watched a lot of her stuff. And I do plan to, so that I can kind of have an understanding of her. a little bit better. Sorry, y'all. I'm still dealing with little mama hair up my nose. And based on the evaluation that I have of her thus far, she doesn't seem to be she doesn't really qualify for Gorlworld because she's not messy, if that makes sense. I mean, she's just her, and she's just kind of talking about life and going through what she's dealing with, and day-to-day life stuff. I mean, she's not a bigot, she's not an asshole, she's not she's not a true cow, yeah, she seems to be really nice, and that to me by itself, between that and her and Hungry Fat Chick really doesn't qualify for Gorlworld, as it were, because she is actually genuinely a nice person. Gorlworld to me is just, kind of dicks, as it were. Hi, Granny Noodles. Okay, see, well then, see, that's one of the small benefits of training, and I don't know if she actually has any sort of knowledge base in that sort of thing. I do think that it would probably help, if she spends some time working with these pups that she's housing, to get them where they're more capable to live inside. Hi, Charlotte. How you doing? Messy heifers who think highly of themselves is what? Yeah, that is the perfect summary of cow quality. Messy heifers who think too highly of themselves. Yeah, exactly. I don't really watch Candy unless someone is covering her, not out of malice. I just don't want to feel for her like I do for Shamber. Close enough. Chantel or Amber. Yeah. So, oh Lordy. We'll continue because, like I said, Lori seems to be pretty nice. It's just her talking about what's going on with her, and a lot of the conversation that I've been involved in relation to her is about the circumstances with her and the fella.
But he's happy and fat now. But yeah, he ate both bags of treats. It's like an hour and 45 minutes one way and then, back. So because I don't want to have to drive that far to go get an emergency item. Then after my accident, I just became this really chill guy. And I'm like, well, whatever.
Now we're talking about
That's
hubby.
usually when the regging happens.
I missed it.
Sorry, it's taking me so long to get to this. Okay, so things are going better. He says he's going to work tomorrow, and I'm nervous about that. Because that's usually when the regging happens. Like, I'm not, like me being the kind of person I am, I'm like sitting here trying to analyze all the pieces to figure out what exactly happens to trigger a reg attack. And we were joking with each other because he'd tell me, he goes, yeah, before my accident, I was a real asshole. And then after my accident, I just became this really chill guy. And I'm like, well, what if Reggie is like really Josh before the accident, but he's pissed off because he's been dormant for like 20 some years. So, he's like, he's been in a coma for 20 some years and now he's mad and he wants his life back. I don't know. But I mean, I know I'm probably being facetious. But what if? I mean, I used to have like this fear of him becoming who he was before the accident again. So, I don't know. But he was also like an 18-year-old boy. So, aren't most 18-year-old guys kind of jerks? Well,
yes, they are.
And then there's people who haven't been here and they commented and they don't know the whole story because they were new and they maybe they didn't want to listen to the whole video, or maybe they just don't know the history. And Josh, like my stalker's like, oh, what do you get with guys who are broken or whatever, trying to fix them? I ain't trying to fix nobody, okay, except for my dogs, which are already fixed. At least where they can't have any puppies. I hate when my this is blonde, like when there's a little roots. Okay, it's bugging me.
Okay, that the all over the place conversation is bugging me with her. So, okay, here's the deal. She talked in some length about how about on the last video that we watched of hers about how he has this entire personality shift when he drinks, and that's not uncommon with alcoholics or addicts. When they're not using, most of them are very nice people. They don't really go out of their way to be ugly to folks, to be buttholes, stuff like that. But, that substance has a tendency to bring out an entirely different side of them. And I am one of those people too. When you guys see how I am. This is me after 14 years, no substances on board. I am, for the most part, very chill. I love to talk to people. I'm very sociable. I'm one of those types of people too, that I will kind of let stuff go until a point where I'm pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And when I do finally lose my temper, you might as well just clear the room because I'm fixing to show my ass. That's how I am when I'm sober. I will let a lot of shit go that I probably shouldn't. But when I was drunk, if I had alcohol on board, everybody around me was fucked. You could look at me, you could side eye me, and I would just lose my shit with people. I am not the type of person that I get into altercations or into any sort of conflict with people. But when I was drinking, all bets were off, my dude. There were several times as a young person when I was still actively drinking and I was out, that I would get into full-on fist fights with full-grown men because they would lay their hands on me uninvited. And I'm going to tell you, if you are out in a public place and people lay hands on you that don't know you, especially when you have certain types of previous experiences, and that to me, it got to a point where the particular place that I would go to, because I would go just to listen to music and to dance and to just get away from the house for a little bit. Eventually, the bouncers there got to know me. So they were like, okay, she don't mess with nobody. She don't get into fights with nobody. She may cuss somebody out, but she don't fight nobody. And then when the time came that I did end up in fist fights with people, they would be like, okay, this is not normal for her. She'll cuss people out, but she won't get into fights with them. They were like hauling whoever it was that I got into the fight with out. And they were like, tell us what happened so that we know what's going on. And I finally got to a point with the bouncers, which was probably not good, but where I could find one of them and be like, could you come tell this asshole to get away from me? And they would be like, oh, okay, that's our cue to get involved. You know what I mean? Hey, Neve, how you doing? Hi, Cozy. Right. And that's another part that plays into it, because you do have noticeable personality changes. And alcohol, you're talking about a brain that's already been damaged and it's probably not ever going to completely function the way that it's supposed to, and then throw alcohol on top of it. It's not a good mix at all. So you've got all of that to take into consideration. That too, I think, is part of, like she was talking about at one point in that last video, that Josh has dementia, that they have related to the coof, which is, the bug that shut the world down for about 2 years. I'm trying so hard not to use the actual name. Based on my understanding of things, there are not a lot of dementia related issues from the coof in younger people. It's usually the elder generations, people who are already at risk of dementia, that it kind of exacerbates it and amplifies their symptoms once they've gotten COVID. Well, yeah, I've been calling it the coof. I don't know how long. But I don't entirely I can't entirely say for sure that Josh has actually got dementia secondary to the coof. I mean, he may have his symptoms in relation to the closed brain injury and then having the coof. I mean, there is a link between brain fog and slower thinking and memory problems and stuff like that in relation to the coof, with normal healthy people. So if you add those sort of symptoms on top of him having a closed brain injury, that might be where a lot of that is coming from. It may not actually be true dementia. But there's no way to know for sure. Let's see. Yeah, there's multiple. Everybody's got their own individual name for it, I've learned. I always tried to get my boyfriend to fight me. He never would because he was a good person despite his own issues. But I was mad because he lied about using drugs and who he was with all the time. See, that's the deal. Like a lot of the fights and stuff, like fighting and arguing and stuff like that, it usually comes from a place of, stuff that we keep to ourselves when we're sober. I mean, if you're bothered if you're sober and you're seeing these things going on and you're not verbalizing it and talking about it, then a lot of times you're holding it in and repressing it, and the alcohol takes away the filter. It takes away any inhibition. So now it's on. You're just letting it all out. You're throwing down, showing your ass, sort of thing. Ow. Sorry, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so while we here, because this was supposed to be just y'all helping me shop. So I'm gonna let y'all help me shop. Y'all helping me shop for plants because I've got my front yard. I wonder if I got a way. I don't think I have a way to draw. I've got a 10-foot long wrap around flower bed that needs to be filled. And I've got my whatchamadoodly. My tiller is going to be here Thursday. So I'll be able to get all that stuff processed, get all the soil processed and get all the crap out of it so that I can actually start planting Friday. So I want you guys to help me figure out what to put in because I am a zone 9. Zone 9. I actually do. I want bright. I want colorful. I would like to have stuff that will come back year after year, so that I don't have to kill myself and plant all over again every year. Let's see. Let me see. Do I got it set? Yeah. I know, hang on real quick because I know I found one. I want me one of them babies. That's going in the backyard. So that is going in the cart. I'm gonna order what I can, and some of it I'm gonna get from Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff like that. If whatever is local that I can get, then I'm gonna get. But like my dragon fruit here that I've picked out here, shut up. Quit. Dag nabbit. I hate pop-ups. The stuff that I can't get local, then I'm going to order. I have what I do. I'll tell you what I do have. I have a mulberry tree that I planted the end of last summer. That is all the leaves died off of it, off this last cold snap, but it's holding in strong. The leaves are coming back. It hadn't grown a lot, but thus far, it's looking like it's hanging around to stay here. I planted a banana tree, but I'm pretty sure it bit the dust in the cold snap. I'm not really, as bad as that sounds. That's exactly what I got. That's what I just ordered, crab apples. It's funny that you said that. That's the first thing that I put in my thing. I don't have to worry about sidewalks, so I got that going for me. I'm not really a fan of avocado, believe it or not. There's something about the consistency of it that just kind of grosses me out. But I know that I want some pollinators. That's part of that, because you got to have that, because I'm also redoing vegetable garden too. And you gotta have the vegetable garden for let's see, perennials. So I know right off the get-go. I know, okay, let me start me a list here. Let me start me a list, because I know I can get lavender local. So I know for sure I want some lavender. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Right, and I saw and I think actually, hang on real quick, because I don't think they sell that locally here. I saw one. Let me find it. Are they out? Son of a biscuit eater. Holy hell, look at how damn expensive those are. Holy crap. They're expensive as hell. That's ridiculous. But I do want those. I do want like some honeysuckle for like my backyard. Because I got a pretty sizable backyard, and right now I don't have anything in there. On Etsy? Let's see what else we got in the way of perennials here, because I know that like I want to do lavender in the front, because I know lavender is going to give me some height. Let's see what other options we got here. Look at the peonies. Wow. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. My God, $50 for a damn... And we must be talking about like a full-grown plant, though. 3 gallon, that thing right there has got to be humongous. Let's see what else we got here. A couple different peonies. See, I like this right here. These right here, but they supposedly they draw a lot of ants. Let's look up what Pix is saying. Blue spire sage. Them things get humongous. $169. Good God Almighty. See, I had some of these in the front, the salvia, because they're good for they're good for pest control, and those I can get local, and definitely not for $69. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like I said, I'm going to be sticking to the website just for the stuff that I can't get, because like I said, I know that like with they ain't nowhere the local is going to sell me a dang dragon fruit cactus. So I'm going to be at this for a little while now, probably all the way through spring. I got this right here. I've got this right here around the front of the garden bed, and I'm going to have to find some more of that because there's parts of the bed that the gentleman that lived down the road from me, he took a weed whacker to it and tore it up to the point that it ain't come back. So really, that's awesome. I may have to go have me a conversation. There's a couple of them here that really. Okay, then I'm definitely going to have to do that. But yeah, I'm asking y'all, for some of y'all, because like I know like Charlotte and one other person is in zone 9 with me, and that they would be able to lily pilly tree. What is that? Let's see. Oh, it's giving me everything but what you're looking for. Yeah, see, this is what I got in the backyard it's trying to grow. It's trying to grow. I can't wait for that thing to get some height on it, though. Let's see. Let's look up what a lily pilly tree is. Oops. But what kind of is that fruit? Huh. Never heard of such a thing. Y'all learning me all kind of new stuff here. I found this out the hard way. When you buy online, you have no idea when it was anything last. Nursery can tell you what it ate, etc. Ha ha. No, I'm not on Lowe's. Hang on. But we can go to Lowe's. Me and Lowe's has got a long-standing relationship going here. Perennials. Let's do pickup. Let's just see what we got here. Daylilies. I like daylilies, but the problem with that is I'm worried about I'm worried about local animals. I don't want to put anything down that might make one of the animals sick if they get a hold of it. What is that? Well, those are kind of pretty. The downside, and I'll tell you this right here, that I have figured out, that even though you can go actually in there and walk around, and they've got this huge ass garden section at both places, there and Home Depot, and they don't have any of the crap that they've got actually at the site listed so that you can look at it before you actually go. No, I haven't listed bougainvillea yet, but let me see. I don't even know the names of most of this stuff. Bougainvillea is really pretty, actually. Look at that. Holy moly. But see, that's a trellising plant, though. Where would I put that? Well, I have the one that goes outside, Cozy, but I have one that goes outside. He's an inside-outside. He goes out and plays, and he comes back in the house for the night. But the next door neighbor has a cat that roams, and then there's like 2 or 3 others. Oh, that's an excellent point, Blondie. Ha ha. See, this is why this is why I wanted y'all here, because, many hands make light work. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I would never have considered that. See, this is why we have our discussions, because many brains produce great thoughts. Right. Talking about Romeo, Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect. But yeah, we will definitely have to add, let me write down Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea. It's an Australian tree. Never heard of it. Huh. Definitely going to have to. As the back of the bed, you can set of a bit of a trellis against the fence if you have one. Just run strings on the fence for it to climb. It, just so y'all know, I am like 100% a novice at this, and I'm trying so hard to kind of learn and figure out what's going to work for me, because like all I can figure, like when I did like my garden last year, my vegetable garden, I was fighting bugs all damn summer long. It was just a damn mess. I mean, every time I went out there, something had some sort of issue, And then, I had that storm that came through that knocked part of my fence down, and then the rabbits went crazy and ate all my produce. And to say the least, I was ready to have rabbit for dinner for a couple of days, because I was pissed because they ate every one of my tomatoes. I didn't have but like 4 or 5 little tiny tomatoes like this, and they destroyed them. There were pieces of tomato everywhere. It looked like a slasher movie. I was so irritable. But my fence is back up. Everything's cool. The tree that took it out is gone. Everything's cool, man. We're going to have to build a greenhouse because the deer don't give a fuck about keeping all of our property. I have planted a little bit, but can't keep the plants alive. Even my lily of the valley didn't spread. Oh, no. See, thankfully, I don't have to worry about that. The only stuff that but now that the fence is back up, I hadn't seen any rabbits back there at all. So I guess they were coming from like off property, and they had their fill of the joint, and then they took off again, because I haven't seen them since, which is a good thing. I learned on my own. I had a semester of botany at uni. The rest I read in garden catalogs. The paper catalogs have a wealth of info and a lot of free. Ha, 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 ha. A colleague of mine had her dog eat the bottoms of all of her bees. I can't be mad. I can't be mad about that. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if it's your dog, but it's a whole nother thing if whole nother situation if you're talking about wild animals, because you can't control them. You can kind of get your animals to stay out of. Audacious Siberian irises. Those are pretty. Load heifer. Estimated delivery. See, that's the other thing too that I don't like about the website. They're not going to send this out, even though these are absolutely beautiful. It says that you wouldn't see delivery on that until the beginning of March. Once you get your filler, make sure you get composted till in a lot of soils are lacking in the nutrients needed. Yeah, and I've actually got a soil test that I need to do too, so that I know what I'm lacking. Composting is something I learned. I need to find me some educational sites on that stuff so that I can start doing that. And it'll cut down on some of the garbage carry off too. Oh, how about this now? While I was out doing all this running around with my dad, we went to the city water company to change some information around on my paperwork so that I could register my account online so that I could pay my account online or set it up to like auto draft. And do you know that I'm supposed to be getting garbage pickup for free, and I've been paying for garbage pickup from a different company this whole time? I was like, what the shit? I'm like, that would have been nice to know a year ago. It's like, come on now. Oh, see, that I ain't gonna have no problem there. I ain't got no problem there. I drink enough coffee that I should be able to work that out. Let's see. I'm going to have to probably go to Lowe's and Home Depot and walk around and see what I see. But let's see what else we got here. I don't know anything about plants, but I learned quickly and now I love it. See, and that's the thing. Like, I like the part, like, I'll tell you what I have a tendency of doing. I'm going to take this off screen. I have a tendency, like last year when I first set up the garden, there were several of the flowers and stuff that I bought that were half dead, like at Lowe's and Walmart and a couple of other places that I went to, that they were kind of just left and nobody was taking care of them. So I was like, yep, you're going home with me, because this is not fair. This will be a pretty plant, that will have flowers on that are just kind of like, so I would bring them home and I would transplant them and baby them and take care of them. And they bloomed and they got really pretty and everything, but then they're annuals and not perennials. So the cold killed them off. Oh, I felt like something just flew in my ear. Jesus. But I'm definitely going to have to go walk around, I think, because I do know that I am going to buy the dragon fruit. Let me double check it and make sure that it's going to stand up here, though. I don't want to buy it and plant it. Let's see. Grows well outdoors 9 through 11. Sweet. Mature height 5 to 10 feet. Mature width 10 feet. Huh? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, definitely gonna have to pay. Definitely gonna have to buy the dragon fruit cactus, especially. It's only $34 for that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting into growing dragon fruit for fun and profit. Got any tips? I'll take them. If you can reduce your trash, you can compost a lot of things, even bits of paper. And you can't put meat in there unless you have huge piles, like bigger than a car. Oh, holy moly! Yeah, there's one actually not far from here. So I'm going to probably Friday, go do some of that, go walk around and see what I can see. Actually, let me find it, because I looked at it at one point. Yeah, that's Walmart. We don't want Walmart. Panhandle Landscaping Solutions. That's not the joint, because the place that I'd looked at last time, that's Walmart Garden Center. That's not what I need here. Let's zoom in a little bit. East Avenue Nursery. Oh. You ain't got nothing to say what y'all got in stock right now? Oh. Let me look up. We're going to look up one more thing because because I want one of these. I want one of these for my front yard. Absolutely will. I mean, I know I want a bird of paradise for the corner of my front yard. I've got like a little alcove. I'm trying to describe this to y'all like it makes some kind of sense. Hang on a minute. Y'all fixing to see my piss poor drawing skills here. All right. Okay. What? Oh, no. You ain't got to worry about that. I mean, this is like... So this right here, this is the part that I'm wanting to put flowers in. There's a big ass bush right here that I don't even know what kind of flowers it puts off, but we're fixing to get into blooming season for it. Right there, there's, I guess, there's shrubs right there. And I want to put that bird of paradise right here. And then down this right here's the edge of the property. And I'm going to probably put some boxwood bushes up to kind of create like a property line there, because the next door neighbor bought it. Even though there was already like a picket stake there that had snapped off showing the property line, they had everything remeasured or whatever, you know. So now there's another stake there. So I'm guessing they're worried about the property line. So I want to put up boxtail bush there so that it creates like a line, a boxwood bush there, so that it can create like a little bit of a deal. It's actually facing it's westward facing. The sun rises behind the house. The sun sets in front of the house. Oh my God, my neighbor bought a damn grocery and keeps driving it in my yard. I want a living fence like now. Grocery go-kart. Yeah, probably. Let me look a little bit further into this here. Sunlight on the front yard, it would be probably a full sun, because, you know, from like noon till sundown, it'll be mostly on the front yard, you know. But bird of paradise though is a full partial sun, so it should be fine. God, I feel like something's in here with me. What the hell? See, that's the deal though too. Like I don't have like all I have in my yard. I have a single palm tree right now in the dead center of my backyard. And then I've got that little mulberry tree that's only about yay big around that I've planted that hasn't gotten any width on it yet. And so at this point, there really isn't anything that's, barring any sunlight. So basically, I would say for the most part, my entire yard is probably full sun, other than like right up against the house, like in the back or like in the side yard over here. Like there's like trees all along the fence on the opposite side. There is actually a fence there on the backyard, a privacy fence. And there's trees all over there. So all of this back here is all sunned in. But I'm going to put in that's where I'm going to put my my shed at, is in that little side yard right there, so that it's out of the way. Limelight hydrangeas and trees. As long as you remember what's going in. Remember that going in. Oh yeah. No, I try to keep that. I try to keep that in mind, because like I know that I can't be putting anything in that's going to have to be like a partial shade or low light, because it will end up fried, especially once summer gets here, Yeah, that's kind of where my aim is. Well, like even the porch, my porch is like you guys have seen the inside of that. It's like a sunroom. It's got windows with UV protection, and it's enclosed. So I've got a lot. That's where pretty much all of my plants are at. Really. Let me see. Let's see what you're talking about here. Oh, that's like a tree. There's actually, oh, holy hell, that's a $300 tree. Dwarf Korean lilac tree. There's that 5 or 6 of them that it's saying. 5 to 6 feet tall. $259. Holy moly. That's a tree. Got it. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. I do think that I do think like in the back, obviously since that trailing bougainvillea, if I can hook that up to like the with it trellising like that on the fence, I think that'll be nice. But I do believe that I want at least 1 or 2 honeysuckles that I can just be happy, because it's one of those one of them childhood memory things, because like when we were little, the honeysuckle would be everywhere, like wild everywhere. We would go out and play, and that would be all you could smell, like up and down the road where we lived. Is just all you could smell was the honeysuckle, because it was all over the place at the time. I've noticed that it's not really, I was looking on Fast Growing Trees website just today. Seemed pretty expensive. Well, from what I understand, there's a they are a little on the pricey side. But see, they have like coverage stuff in place that says, we guarantee that your plants or trees will arrive happy and healthy. If you're not satisfied after you receive your trees and plants, we'll replace them free of cost. Our Alive and Thrive covers issues with your plants for the first 30 days. Get in touch with us and our team will review your concern. Please remember that the plants need proper care and nutrients to acclimate to their new environment. If you've given them less than optimal care, blah, blah, blah. If you ordered a delicious tree during winter or early spring, it fails to emerge from dormancy by May 30th, we will guarantee it outside of the 5-day notification period. So, I mean, that's part of it. And then you have the option to do like an extended warranty on it too. So that's the part that I was just like, okay, like for the dragon fruit, I'm not going to be able to find that locally. I'd have to order it either way. Yeah. And see, that's part of why I was like, okay, well, they're giving you 30 days. So if there's a problem, I also don't know if your yard is big enough for fruit trees, but if not, you can do espalier trees along the fence. Basic training, the branches will grow along wire to stay small and flat to the fence. Huh. Yeah, well, that's what I've got back there. The only thing I've got back there in relation to fruit tree right now is mulberry. And I put it in, like I had a pretty sizable spot that's like 20 feet by 20 feet. So I put it like dead center in the middle so that if once it does grow up and grow out, it's not going to be like encroaching on any of the structure or anything, any of the structures back there or anything. And it won't be like encroaching on the palm tree because that one little palm tree, like I said, is kind of dead center in the middle. It's really wild. I actually got to go back. I got to go back there and check to see if that banana tree that I planted, if it's dead. I'm pretty sure it is. The damn leaves are brown and down. So I think they might be just kind of done for. Rosemary has nice purple flowers and does well in her zone, which is 9A. I'm going to write that down too. Yeah, I know. I'm worried that I won't have trouble getting them to actually seed is what my problem is. I think the reason why I was even considering buying one that's already propagated and even partially grown is so that I know for sure that I'm not as likely to end up killing it, if that makes sense. They're incredible. From what I gather, they can, when you're trying to develop new ones, that they can be kind of delicate in those early stages. And I'm really, really, really worried that I'll end up killing them if I try to do it on my own. Yeah. I'm keeping that in mind too. Like, that's kind of like, marigolds will keep them away too. Maybe you need to unsub and resub. Maybe that's what's going on. I mean, I'm not going live nearly as often as I was. Heliotrope. I don't know. Let me look it up. It does say it will grow here 9 through 11, so maybe. Oh, see, but I'm worried about the sun burning it. I'm worried about the sun burning it up because, like it says here, like if you best suited for zones 9 to 11, prefer at least 6 hours of sun a day. If you live in a climate where the sun gets especially hot, make sure that your plants have some afternoon shade. I'd have to be really particular about where I put them. I don't know. I got a lot of researching to do between now and Friday, y'all. Oh, that's a bummer. Hey, Grateful. Does it really? I bet that's wild. Oh, actually, I got the perfect place for some heliotrope. Okay. I told you guys, like, I bought like a gazebo thing to attach to like the back of my garage because there's already like a concrete platform back there. Well, it's out there now, and it's been out there. I talked to you guys about that being the day that I spent outside with all them nice looking men helping put stuff together. That's what we was doing. There is a section of about 2.5 to 3 feet in between that concrete slab and the fence line. Well, I'm trying to, like y'all can see what I'm seeing it in my head and I'm pointing in that direction. Y'all don't pay no attention to me. Let's do this the smart way. Jesus Christ. I fucking lost it, y'all. There's got to be a smarter way to do this. Jesus, Jesus. All right. Y'all getting all of my shoddy artistic skills today. Okay. Backyard. All right. So this is where the house is at. All right. The garage is right here. The covered patio where I've put that gazebo in, the fence line kind of shoots out like 2 or 3 feet and then it goes back around. But I figured I could put heliotrope right there because once it gets past a certain point, once you get past a certain point, there will be shade over, you know? I'm so glad you do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like I'm trying to describe something. I can see it in my head, but obviously me trying to describe it is not really going to kind of give you a full view of it without me having to do something like that. That's a shame. You wrong for that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to hand it to you. I mean, at least I'm willing to admit that I don't have any drawing capability whatsoever. I know how bad of a drawer I am. That's why I don't do people. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do photography. I am not going to be trying to draw because I have zero skills. Zero skills. Live it? What do you mean live it? Trust me, if some of y'all out there, if y'all are capable, then I bow to your capability because you know what? I am awful at drawing. There's so much stuff that I'm awful. I had to be truthful with you. I've been trained to do numbers. I have zero ability to draw. Me too. I mean, like, I don't even try stick figures because they don't end up looking right. Dadgummit, boy. All right. So definitely got me a couple. Got me a couple. Got a couple of things to start off with. So that's progress. I just gotta wait until my dang tiller gets here so I can go out in the front yard and do some damage. See, and that's the deal, like me and numbers are not friends either. That's part of the reason why like the whole going back to school thing was just like ugh for me, because the idea of having to go through maths again is just like my upstairs neighbor is a loud motherfucker, and I've written to the landlord several times. From now on, I'm quietly enjoying on my schedule right now. I'm listening to Panama, so they are too. Hey, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Hey, pick the most inopportune time to play some off the wall shit. But that is an absolutely brilliant way to handle things. Well, I never didn't know you were Asian, Crab Apples. Right. Perfect time for that. Be like, ain't karma a bitch? All right. I'm fixing to go ahead and buy my dragon fruit so that my dragon fruit can get here. I can't wait to see how I'm even going to plant the darn thing, because the backyard has got bloody soil so tightly packed that I was just like fighting trying to get that mulberry tree in. Yeah, give me a login code. I can't remember what my stinking password is. Well, that's good to know, because I'll probably need to start them out there. Oops. Good gracious. Pigs done made a mess with that. Pigs has done made a mess with that vase, that lamp, y'all. I'll tell you what you could have done, Pigs. You could have put it in a bag, tied it up in a plastic bag, and just beat the bag so that it kind of collected all the mess, you know? All right, y'all. All righty. I done ordered me a dragon fruit, y'all. A dragon fruit tree. All right, now I'm gonna take a picture. I know it's gonna email it, but I got a habit of doing that just so I can keep track. Yeehaw. All right, so got me a dragon fruit tree. We're gonna get that situated. I'm so glad that that's one less thing. Let's see. See, that's another reason why I have issues in math. I used to try to get my dad to help me with math, and he would just get so aggravated with me and get just angry with me because he would be trying to explain it, and I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, what's not to understand? And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, okay, obviously you're not who I need to see. Horse manure is the best manure to use for most plants. I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty sure I could locate some. I know plenty enough people who's got animals. I could get them to run me some. That shouldn't be no problem. Right. That's why I said when your tiller gets there, have something to turn into the soil. It'll need room for roots. Yeah. And I've got like I need to really sit down and like, I probably need to go ahead probably tomorrow and Thursday, go and start picking up stuff so that I've got everything accumulated so that I can go ahead and get started either Friday or next week. Because like I work Saturday and Sunday. But go ahead Monday and go and get out there and start. Well, like I've got like the flower beds in the front right there. Right there is, remember I told y'all there was some knockout roses that were planted there that they're basically dead. There's no foliage on them. It's just like branches. And that's about it. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get those out and then till all that little section up, all of that section up right there so that, because it's packed tight too. And there's still like bunches of little weeds and shit there too that, you know, if I sat there pulling weeds out, I would be there forever. So I've, I'll say that was a smart idea. I can. Might as well. I mean, y'all were here with me to pick it out and for me to order it. I just got to, the big thing is I don't think you guys are going to watch me. I don't really want to embarrass myself and have you guys watch me struggling trying to dig the hole to put that in. Cause it's bad. It's bad in that backyard trying to dig back there. Cause like, there's like a half, this half back here, like this is actually all of this. This is beds. This is on a tarp. All of this right here. Okay. With the beds on top of it. But over here, sorry, I'm having to work backwards. Over here, there's like all this open space that I could plant. But if I'm going to dig, I have to I took like a full size shovel out there and was jumping on the blade trying to get it to break through the grass, and it wouldn't even break through the grass. It was wild. It took forever. Yeah. And I have a complete and utter aversion to it now. My problem is, I can tell you what my problem is because I figured it out. If I can do things at my own pace, then I'm okay. But if I need, if I have to follow a class, then I am full on stuck because I will end up behind. I have to be able to take my time and kind of figure it out. Yeah. And that's my issue. I just cannot learn like in a teacher-led classroom setting. I just can't. Is Orlando too far away for you to go to a concert? So I'm 311 Goldfinger and let the others will be there in May. No, that is a long way away. Orlando is quite a bit away. I'm actually closer. My place is only about 2 hours away from Pensacola. So that'll tell you like I'm way to the other side of Florida. See, that's the thing there. Like that doesn't bother me. Like math for meds, no problem. It's the same. It's just a couple of things that you do over and over and over and over and over again. I got that. That's no problem. But when you get into like full on algebra, I am totally screwed. It is just like, man, I would have to seriously pay Hannibal to come help me dig and help me plant. He would be like, this heifer done brought me down here to make me garden. Are you serious? Although, honestly, Hannibal would probably be good company for that because he is just such a goofball. Speaking of concerts, I'm still waiting to hear back from my niece as to whether or not she wants to go to either one of those two concerts. I'm fixing to just leave her butt hanging and go by my darn self. Be truthful with you. Right, live salty balls panel with dirt. Be like sweaty, stanky, dirty, salty balls. I have the number of a guy I used to work with just in case I need him for help with math in the future. Well, see, that's nice. That's nice to have. I don't really have, other than some of y'all that are on here talking about, I'll do your math homework for you. I don't really have anybody to break that sort of stuff down for me. And like my dad is great at math, but I will never ask him for help with math ever again. Too much yelling and cutting a fool as a kid that I'm just like, I know, right? Highlight of everybody's day. How big does lavender plants get? 1 to 3 feet. Mature height and width. That's not terrible. See, I envy you that because I am awful at algebra. Awful. I imagine geometry is probably just as bad. I asked him if he'd help me if I needed it. He said, sure. So I'm holding on to him there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I was the opposite. Geometry made more sense because it was visual. See, I could see that. Yeah. Let's see. Honeysuckle, I think, gets pretty big. Just to give me an idea. Okay, so yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of from childhood that kind of creeped everywhere. Mature height, 8 to 10 inches. 8 to 10 feet. Mature width, 5 to 6 feet. See, this is the one that hang on, let me show y'all this one. This was the one that I was saying when I first started looking at honeysuckle. This was the one that I had in my mind. It's called a peaches and cream honeysuckle. And I just thought the color was really pretty. Is that the same thing? 6 to 10 feet, 3 to 4 feet. Yeah. All right, y'all. I feel like we have killed a little bit of time. We got a halfway decent list started on stuff for me to go investigate. And I think because I have mopped like 2 or 3 rooms in the house here, I think I'm going to probably take a trip real quick over to either Lowe's or Home Depot and just look around and see what they've got. You know what I'm saying? And to see if they've got any of those thus far. And go ahead and snatch a couple of them up if they do. Actually, let me look that one back up again. Growing up, there was honeysuckle in the gullies and ones along edges of football fields and parks. See, same here, because like it used to be all up in the trees and everything too, because it would like, it had that vine climbing. But I think I'm gonna go do some walking around and just see what I can find. Wait a minute. I'm seeing something. I just came to this. This is saying something. This right here is saying this. Whoever was saying that heliotrope is saying it's poisonous. Okay, it's poisonous to. Poisonous to horses. Toxic to horses and can induce liver failure in equine. Plant is not palatable, but will be eaten by ants with no other foliage. Okay, well, I don't think I got to worry about that, hopefully. I don't think the cats will be trying to chew on it. So there's that. Have a good one, Pix. Go plug up. Go plug up. That's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm fixing to go while my floors are drying and do some walking around and see if like Home Depot or like Lowe's has got any of these that I can go ahead and procure so that I've got them ready to go for when my tiller gets here. And then just walk around to see what else they've got. Like I know I want some, I think I'm going to get some marigolds too, because the marigolds have a tendency to keep the bugs away. So I'll probably procure some of those too. And at least have something there to kind of act as like a, oh, and I got to see if they got some more of that the decorative grass too, to fix what was tore up. But, yeah, it'll give me something to do for a little bit while I'm waiting on the floors in here to dry because I went cuckoo crazy. Only right now, Alexis, that's not normally the case. I came on just to see everybody and just to kind of talk a little bit. And then we've been plant shopping because I got all sorts of stuff that I want to do to my yard. And I was like, y'all help me pick out pretty stuff, Guys, I did a Gold Star Domestic Goddess Award because I did my daily house duties, right? Yeah, well, it's just to kind of give me ideas because I only knew for certain about one plant that I wanted. And I figured there's a few people that have been in chats and stuff that like live in the same zone area that I do. So they would kind of be able to give me an idea what worked, because I'm a novice. I don't know nothing about flowers and planting and keeping shit alive. I'm kind of winging it. Chrysanthemums. I'll write them down too. I think those get really humongous though, don't they? I unfortunately kill plants. I don't have a green thumb at all. Well, see, I used to have that problem, but I've gotten a little better at it. But I'm having to having other people that can tell me, okay, here's what's best. Here's what I recommend because like Charlotte's given me a lot of recommendations, and so is Clark, and they kind of live in the same area, in the same zone region. So. Right. See, we were talking about that. I'm very lucky. Mine don't have any interest in chewing on any of the plants that I've bought so far. So I'm hoping they won't have any in any of the ones outside either. Okay. See, well then you're the go-to. You'll be like, Charlotte, help me. What do I do? Yeah. So, all right. I'm fixing to go take off, let the floors dry. I'm going to go wander around a little bit and see what I see. Kind of get myself like a running list going if I don't end up buying stuff today, because I probably will. I know me. I'm gonna try my damnedest to stay out of the sales section because that's where all the half dead plants are at, and that's my weakness. Is I want to bring them back to life and save them. So that's gonna be my hard part of staying away from that and just going in and try to behave myself. So I will catch up with you guys later. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for helping me pick out plants. I appreciate y'all helping me figure out what I need to do with myself because I'm still. I don't know. I will admit on this, I don't know. I can keep people alive. I can't necessarily keep plants alive. I'm not great at it. I do my best, Tar man, yeah, baby, you picked the worst possible time. But I'll set up another one. I'll set up another one for either tomorrow or Thursday so that we can actually get together at a reasonable time where everybody can come hang out, that's not in the middle of the day. Yeah. We'll get together soon, though. Don't worry. I'll talk to y'all then. Y'all have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate, because you are simply basically houseplants with more complex emotions. Take care. Bye, y'all.